A very good noon to one and all. So today in this lecture we will be discussing about the pneumatic comparators, and we will study about the need for pneumatic comparators. They are also known as air gauging equipments. So we will also study about the working principle of pneumatic comparators, and what are the different kinds of circuits available, and what are the various components used in pneumatic comparators. We will also study about the commercial available gauge, that is Solex gauge, and then we will move on to the important characteristics of pneumatic comparators, and then we will discuss about the advantages, disadvantages, and finally applications of pneumatic comparators. Now let us study why there is a need for air gauging circuits or pneumatic comparators. So basically they are non-contact type of comparators. Because of this, they offer the advantages of improved workflow, increased productivity, and decreased downtime. So they are ideal for measuring the dimensions with tolerances smaller than 0.1 mm, and when gauging very tight tolerances, a resolution as small as 0.001 mm can be achieved. So its non-contact characteristic makes air gauging particularly useful for checking the very soft materials and high polished surfaces, and the components with highly polished surfaces, the components with very thin walls, and other delicate materials. Okay, so in the case of delicate materials and workpieces with highly polished surfaces, if we use contact type comparators, then the scratches may appear on the workpiece. So in such cases, non-contact type comparators are desired or selected. So pneumatic comparators offer that particular benefit of not making any such scratches on the workpiece surface, because it is a non-contact type of comparator. Now let us study about the air gauge principle. So in this diagram you can see there is a workpiece, and this is surface of the workpiece, and we have a nozzle. So there is a gap between the nozzle and the workpiece. Now when the air gap or clearance between the workpiece and the nozzle increases, the flow of air through the nozzle increases, and when clearance reduces, the air gap also reduces, the pressure increases. So this characteristic is used in the pneumatic comparators. Now let us study about the different types of air gauging circuits that are available. The first one is a back pressure circuit. So we can see in this diagram, so there is a workpiece and a nozzle, and there is a air gap or clearance between the workpiece and nozzle. We have the compressed air supply, and there is a pressure regulator also is there. So desired pressure is set using this regulator, and there is a restrictor to restrict the flow of air. Now when the gap between the nozzle and workpiece is high, the airflow is easy, the air escapes easily into the atmosphere, and little pressure is developed in the system. Now when the workpiece move towards the workpiece, uh, or in other words, when the size of this particular size increases, that means the air gap reduces, the escapement of air is restricted. So a back pressure is developed in the circuit, which is indicated in this case. So the development of back pressure is used to indicate the dimensional feature in this particular circuit. So there is another circuit in which airflow is measured. Again we have the air plug gauge, wherein we have two jets. Now there is a workpiece, and then this particular dimension, say D, capital D, is to be checked using the pneumatic comparator. Now we have the pressure regulator, and then there is a airflow meter. For example, rotometer can be used in each application. Such applications, rotometer, we consider it as an example, rotometer. So in the airflow meter we have a float. Now when the gap between the plug and the workpiece reduces, the airflow is restricted. That means airflow reduces, so float level reduces. So when this gap increases, the airflow will increase, and air will escape freely. Hence airflow increases with the float level increase. There will be a scale fixed on the airflow meter. So by knowing the position of the float with respect to the scale, we will come to know about the size of the workpiece. Now let us study what are the various components used in the pneumatic comparators. Essentially, the comparator requires precision air regulator to provide a constant pressure air supply to the system, and then different kinds of tooling are needed, like plugs, rings, and other shapes depend on the work to be inspected. So these tooling deliver a specific airflow or pressure to the surfaces being checked. An amplifier is another essential component used in the pneumatic comparator, and this amplifier can be air electronic column, or it could be a dial type meter, or it could be a flow meter. So the amplifier provides visual representation of the size being measured, permitting the user to take readings quickly and accurately. So this is used for the taking the uh, readings taking the readings, uh, which provides the visual representation of size. Okay, so now in this figure you can see a pressure regulator. So there is a pressure regulator with a filter to clean the air supplied here. So and there is a knob to adjust the air pressure. What is the level of pressure that is available in the system can be noted down by this pressure indicator. So there is a setting masters. So setting masters are there, which are used to calibrate the comparator depending upon the system. One or two masters, usually in the form of discs or rings, are used. So masters are typically made from alloy steel or tungsten carbide. So we can see here one set of setting masters are used to calibrate the system, and one set for setting the upper limit of workpiece, and another set for the lower limit of the workpiece. So this is a close view of setting master. So we can see here this is for a particular dimension, that is 102.01, for say 102.01 mm. So this is desired side or basic size of the workpiece, and this particular setting master is used to set the upper limit. So upper limit and upper limit of the workpiece. So then we see another setting master, it is used for lower limit of the workpiece. Suppose it's upper limit 102.01 plus 0.0104, and lower limit is 102.01 minus 0.0094 mm. So the you have clearly observed about this. So and then the amplifier or indicators. The amplifier or indicators are usually or essentially required. Uh, in this figure shows a flow meter or a rotometer. So this is a tapered, and inside surface of flow meter is tapered like this. So now there is a shape of flow meter. and inside it is tapered, and then a scale, graduated scale, is engraved on outer surface of a glass tube, and then we have a float which will float inside the tapered tube. So it is a metallic float. Now when the gap between the work surface and the gauge reduces, the air flow reduces and float level will come down. So it will indicate that the dimension being checked is very small. Now when the gap increases, the airflow is more, so the float level increases, so which will indicate that the dimension of this particular feature is more. So we can always set two limits, upper limit and lower limit, by using the setting masters. So when the flow crosses the upper limit or lower limit, the workpiece is rejected. Now let us see the working of an air gauge apparatus. Now we are observing the honing operation. Honing operation, a workpiece is clamped and the honing tool is inserted into the bore of the workpiece. The honing tool is adjusted. Now the machine is started. The honing tool is reciprocating and rotating. These reciprocating rates and rotating rates can be adjusted depending upon the surface finish required. Now the operator is removing the workpiece. We can see the coolant flow and the lubricant flow. Now the honed surface is visually inspected for the surface finish. Now we are observing the pressure regulator and filter. So we can see the pressure indicator. By using this, we can set the working pressure to the required pressure, like 3 bar, 4 bar or 5 bar. Now this area indicates the pressure range in which the air gauge can be used. Now we are observing an indicator which shows the size variation in terms of micron. So one small division is 1 micron. When we insert the plug gauge into the bore of the workpiece, depending upon the clearance between the workpiece surface and plug gauge, the pointer will move and we can note down the reading. Now we can observe the operator is inserting the plug gauge into the bore, is rotating the workpiece or gauge to check for roundness, and vertical movement to check the cylindricity of the bore. Now we can observe the air plug gauge or air jets through which air escapes. So in the opposite direction we have air jets. Now we can see the air connection via air gauge. The air will flow and it will enter into the air plug gauge. Now holes are provided in the air plug gauge to reduce the rate of the plug gauge. We can set the air gauge. So initial calibration we have to do using the masters. So we can set the limiters. We can observe two limiters are there. We can set these limiters to indicate the upper limit and lower limit of the bore size. Now the plug gauge is being inserted into the workpiece. Now operator is rotating the workpiece, is removing the plug gauge. So now we can observe the two masters for initial calibration of the air gauge. So there is a desired size and a lower size. Now we are observing the indicator removed from the air gauge setup. So we can see the plunger. When the plunger is moved, the pointer rotates. We can see the range 0 to 50 microns on both sides, clockwise as well as anti-clockwise. Now there is a place where the indicator should be inserted, and the operator is inserting the indicator and then using masters. So we can set the indicator. Now let us study a commercially available pneumatic comparator, so which is known as a Solex gauge, produced by Solex company. So this is a Solex company has developed a single and multiple dimensional measuring systems. That means a single dimension can be measured at a time, or multiple dimensions can be compared simultaneously. So these highly versatile systems can be used in many industries, such as automobile industry, manufacturing industries, pharmaceutical industries, and food industries, etc. So they work on the principle of pressure difference, which is generated by airflow. That is, back pressure is measured, which will indicate about the size of the workpiece. So air is supplied at a constant pressure through the orifice, and the air escapes in the form of jets through the restricted space, which exerts a back pressure in the system. The variation in the back pressure is then used to find the dimensions of components. Now let us study how the Solex gauge works. So compressed air is supplied to the system. The pressure of the air will be equal to water head H. We can see here we have a tank here filled with water to a certain level, and there is a H, capital H, which indicates the air pressure. So this value of the pressure can be varied by adjusting the depth of the dip tube in the water tank. So we can adjust the depth, and then we can adjust the pressure in the system. Then excess air escapes in the form of bubbles, which we can observe here. The controlled amount of air is passed through the orifice. So we have an orifice here, and it is connected to the gauging head. The controlled air is connected to the gauging head via the flexible tube. Due to the restricted area between the gauging head and the workpiece, say for example at a position 1 A1, the back pressure H is developed because of the restriction here. So the back pressure H is developed, which indicates the size of the dimension feature. For example, the hole diameter in this case. Now you can also determine the roundness of the job and then cylindricity of the job by using this system. So to determine the roundness of the job, the workpiece is rotated along the jet axis. So there is a jet axis and the workpiece is rotated. So if no variation in the pressure reading H when the job is rotated, it indicates that the workpiece is perfectly round at this particular position. So this procedure is repeated at different positions along the length of the hole A2, A3, A4, etc. And then we can note it down what is the roundness at different positions of workpiece, and similarly we can measure the cylindricity of the workpieces. So the diameter is measured at various positions, which will give the information about the cylindricity. Okay. And now let us study what are the important advantages of pneumatic comparators. The gauging member does not come in contact with the part to be measured, and hence particularly there is no wear of the gauging member, and also there are no chances of scratches on the surface of workpiece. So it has usually very small number of moving parts, thus the accuracy is more due to the less friction and less inertia, and the measuring pressure is very small, so it can be as low as some 3 to 4 bar, and the jet of air helps for cleaning off work surfaces. We can also have a very high magnification as high as 10,000 times. The indicating instrument can be removed from the measuring unit. These air gauges are very much suitable for measuring the diameter of holes, where the diameter is very small compared with the length. For example, deep holes like gun barrels can be easily checked with these gauges. It is possibly the best method for detecting the ovality and the taperness of the circular bores. So we can check whether there is any taperness or some bell mouth shape or some barrel shape in the hole. So such things can be easily checked by using these air gauges. A row of multiple column amplifiers can be scanned in one glance. We can see here many column amplifiers are available, and we can observe the multiple readings or multiple features of the workpiece at a time, so that the workpieces can be checked at a faster rate. That means the checking time or inspection time can be greatly reduced by using the multiple gauging. So these amplifiers they provide a visual representation of checked features. So it permits the operator to take readings quickly and accurately. Either back pressure system can be used, or flow systems which flow meter tubes can be used for visual representation, and parallel stacking of columns or flow meter tubes puts all the readouts into the same vertical relationship, making comparison very much simpler. So for example, multiple dimensions like this can be checked by using the multiple gauging operators, and their relationship can be easily understood by using the multiple amplifiers. Relationships, for example, squareness can be easily checked by using the air gauges. For example, we have a bore, whether this bore is perpendicular to the face. Such features can be easily checked. So air gauging is very much economical. Once the basic system is purchased, relatively inexpensive additional tooling such as the gauging heads can be purchased and used for a wide variety of applications. Since air gauge tooling has less moving parts, and most of the cases no moving parts, it is virtually immune to trapping. That means the gauge will not get trapped into the work part. Now let us study what are the various disadvantages of air gauging systems. So it requires very elaborate auxiliary equipment such as pressure gauges or pressure regulators are required. Air filters are needed for filtering the dust particles. So like this, it requires elaborate auxiliary equipment. So the scale is not generally uniform when indicating device is in the glass tube. For example, a manometer, then very high magnification is necessary in order to avoid the meniscus errors. So the apparatus is not easily portable since it is bulky. It should be placed at one place and is rather elaborate for many industrial applications. So now different gauging heads are required for different dimensions. For example, when the bore size changes, we have to have a different set of gauging heads. For example, for 10 bore size, we need one gauging head, and for 12 bore size, we need another gauging head. So like this, as the dimension changes, we need to purchase necessary gauging heads. So the accuracy may be influenced by the surface roughness of the component which is being checked, and that means the surface roughness will also affect the reading. So they are very sensitive to the temperature and humidity changes. So sometimes it becomes necessary to control the working environment where the air gauges are used. Now let us study what are the various applications of air gauging. So these air gauges they are used for dimensional control of aerosol spray nozzle, and they are used to control the gun barrels. They are also used to control the dimensions of knee prostheses. They are very much used for dimensional control of mechanical parts such as bore size and bore shape faults can be detected. That means straightness of tubes for hydraulic cylinders. So for example, we have a hydraulic cylinder with a bore. So whether the bore is straight or whether the bore is perpendicular with respect to face or not, such things can be checked. So they are used to check the car shock absorbers and perpendicularity of bore to face. So such features can be easily checked by using the air gauges. Now, dimensional control of mechanical parts such as engine cylinder linings can be checked. So these engine cylinder internal surfaces they require very good and fine surface, and no scratches should appear on the internal surface of the liners. So in such cases, since the air gauge is a non-contact type, they are very much used to inspect the lining and cylinder lining internal surfaces. So now it is possible to measure the multiple bores at a time, and distance of the bore from face. For example, we have a bore and then we have a surface here. So what is the distance between this surface and bore? The distance between the bore and its face can be checked, and it is possible to measure the average diameter by having the multiple jets. It is possible to get the average size of the bore and these air gauges. So they are used for inspecting of castings, injection molded or welded parts, tanks, piping, and hydraulic nozzles and braking system components are checked by using the air gauges. So they are also used to check spark plugs, gas appliance valves, solenoid valves, tire valves, stationary and rotating joints, etc. So the testing of carburetor and gas appliance jets, injectors, injection molding nozzles are checked by using the air gauges. So burners and nozzles are checked. Shock absorber nozzles are checked by using the air gauges. Cast iron and injection molded transfer canals and outlets of complex bores are easily checked by air gauging systems. And mean diameters of extruded tubes, cigarettes, etc. they are inspected by using the air gauges. So the adjustment of pneumatic and hydraulic apparatus and needle regulating flaps and piston cylinder play such things are checked by using the air gauges. So in this figure we can see a cigarette gauge. A cigarette is placed here and it is checked for its dimension. Now we can see some of the applications. What is the height of the component can be easily checked by using the air gauges, and we can check whether the plate is straight or not, whether there is any curvature in the surface. Such things can be checked, and here we can see a system wherein we can easily check the squareness of the bore to the face, whether this bore is perpendicular to the face. So it can be checked, and the squareness, whether this vertical surface is square with the bottom surface. Such things can be checked, and then what is the depth of linked hole in the workpiece can be easily checked, and tubing straightness can be checked by inserting the gauging head into the tube, and short bore squareness can be checked. Outside diameters can be easily checked. So the squareness of the bore with the face can be checked, and the taper in the component can be checked, and the flatness, screw width, inside diameter, outside diameter, such things can be easily checked by using the air gauges. And this shows a system wherein a second point out of the roundness can be checked, and here 3 point out of the roundness can be checked. So these are the various different applications of pneumatic comparators. So please read well and stay home, stay safe. Thank you. Bye.